everyone, my name is Chery Holmes and I'm a collage mixed media artist, and my current series is on the world of theater. But what I want to focus on now is doing a few short videos on how you can enhance your paper collages, how you can make them come more alive or add different elements to make them kind of pop out more. And I'm going to be using one of my pieces I did with mixed media and collage on wood. It's called Joan of Arc, the stage play. And when I was a young girl, she was a heroine of mine. It was before Gloria Steinem became a household word, and there weren't that many strong women to look up to at that time. And it all started with this comic of Classics Illustrated. And since then, I decided I wanted to do a piece on her. And this piece, I wanted to just go through the different areas. And this one here of her being burnt at the stake, I really started with this image of her being on fire and her hands in the air. And it was from an old German book that I found in the garbage, where you find lots of good stuff. And I didn't quite like the look on her face. It was kind of, I don't know, it wasn't peaceful. It was peaceful and wasn't kind of reflecting that she was burning up below. So I took out of a magazine one with models in it, which I use a lot for the skin and tones of hair and that kind of stuff. And I cut out this person, and I didn't want her facing the way she was, so I scanned her in, took all the color out, and changed her direction. Next, I stuck her face and her head on this image from the previous picture, and as you can see, she's got 4 arms right now. I wanted to have her kind of clasping across, so I had to obliterate all of that, and I ended up painting in her arms and changing her outfit and her look to end up like this. As you can see on here, I had brown tones I put in it as well to reflect the time. It was kind of the colors of the pictures you'd see of her. And I put this kind of tattoo on her arm. It's called La Pucelle. I don't know if you can see it there, but it means maiden, virgin, what she was called at the time. So after I put her on and I drew lines, and I still wanted the cross to look more than just a piece of paper or paint. So I found some lilac tree bushes and branches, twigs, and I glued them on it to make her cross. And also, the poor woman was burned 3 times. I guess they want to make sure she was really dead. And that's why there's, in white pencil I used to put ×3 here. The area around here, I wanted to look very smoky and sinister. So after putting down the paper, I got some graphite and messed it up, put it in my hands, and then that wasn't enough, so I got some dirt out of the track on our balcony door, because there's a lot of dirt up there. So I put that in my hands and rubbed it and rubbed it and rubbed it in, so it kind of made it all dirty, smoky, and made it more like soot. So next, what else did I embellish? I went to her outfit here, her armor, and this chainmail look came from ribbon that I traced the outline here, traced it, and then traced it onto the material and cut it out and glued it down. To make the shoulders more armor-like and heavy, I have some more chain that I cut out. This is plastic. They call it decorative rhinestone mesh. It's surprising, you can find a lot of interesting things in the dollar stores. I just cut them into, to cut the squares off actually, put them on and left it like that. Her horse, I put rhinestones to pick it up more, make it shine, have it a little more lively. So these are glued down rhinestones here. Now, down here, this title of it is Joan of Arc, the stage play, and there were 26 plays written about her at the time, over time actually, and so I wanted her to be set on a stage. So in order to do so, I wanted to look like she was on the stage and there was an audience here. So I had some more of my, where is it here? Chain, it looks like chainmail actually. And you can just cut, if you cut them down along here with scissors, you can get strips, or I cut each one individually and got these little dotted lights so it looked like these were the foot of the stage. Down below, the audience, I at first had these figures were filled in with paper. I had patterns like to look like shirts and tops and that. I had them all filled in and they looked like, kind of like filled in like Joan of Arc here. And they just didn't work. They looked too flat, too boring. I don't know how else you'd call it, but I didn't like them, so I had to scrape them all off. So what I was left with was the black gesso still. So I just took my white pencil again and drew in these figures down here. And I liked the way they looked. They're very simple. There wasn't much detail, but you knew they were there and they didn't take away from her. I added little touches of color with pencil here, and I was pleased with that. In order to have them look like they're sitting somewhere, I had to make these chairs that you usually see in the theater are usually red. I had them painted red with acrylic paint, and it just looked like you just put a bunch of paint there. So I tried, what else did I try? I think I tried just plain red paper from my collection of papers. That didn't work, that just looked dumb. And I came across my stash of mulberry paper, which I have some here. It's wonderful paper that you can glue down flat if you want, like so, if you wanted a space to fill in. And it can tear. You can just make it into shreds, and you can also mold it and push it in there, and it's great stuff to work with. And it comes in many, many colors, and some of them have little leaves in them, little branches, and little parts of flowers embedded in them. These ones just have the fibers in them, which gives it a texture as well. The last thing that I usually do on a piece is add touches of color and enhancement and outline. And this I did touches of color here, here, and maybe the hands here and a little bit here. And then I took my artist pens and I did little outlines kind of all around to bring it forward a little, give it more definition, it doesn't so faded. And I put brown artist pen here, just bits here and there to touch it up. Sometimes I'll do it with pencil, sometimes with pens. And my final touch was the fleur-de-lis, which I had gotten at a flea market, which is a great place to get stuff that you want to stick on somewhere. I just want to say something about wood. This is my preference of a substrate. It's a new word I learned last year. Substrate is anything that you put your stuff on, like canvas, paper, wood. And I favor wood because I can glue a lot of stuff on it. I can scrape it, I can dig at it, I can nail things into it, and you can put heavier items on it, whereas canvas tends to give a little bit. So that's what I did with this piece, and stay tuned. I'll be doing some more videos on different pieces and what I've added to enhance the collage. And stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks.